Good morning, folks. How you doing today? Well, I just got my truck back. They delivered it to me about 8 o'clock last night, so I didn't get a chance to check it out. And she seems to be running really, really good, but haven't gone up any big hills yet. But just starting it up, it's a lot smoother. And what they found, and I haven't talked to the mechanic to find out exactly every little detail, but they replaced the Costa gas filter. They found the rotor button pretty well charred, I guess, pretty messed up. And they replaced the distributor cap, and they adjusted the timing, and they found a timing chain, just a little loose with the rotor button test. I didn't seem to think that would be cause it, and I can feel a difference in the power. There's no hesitation so far. If you look here straight ahead, it's kind of a rainy Saturday. We're on our way, Tommy and I are on our way to, this is Saturday morning, by the way,
Joy's,
to a little restaurant called Joy's. I go there on Saturday mornings and to get my eggs and home fries. You know, many years ago, I used to travel, back in the 70s, I used to travel to West Virginia. I told you that many times and everything. And 2 years, in 1976 and 1978, I used to go down to Tennessee. And you go down to Tennessee, and leastwise the places I've been down south like that, you can't get home fried potatoes. They have grits. I tried grits. I don't like grits. Yuck. I like my home fried potatoes. So up north, you get home fries, good old home fried potatoes, something that'll stick to you. I love my home fried potatoes. That's the only thing, by the way, speaking of cooking, that I know how to do is make home fried potatoes. It's not very hard at all. I just slice up the potatoes or cut them in small pieces. Put a coating of margarine or butter in the frying pan, heat it up lightly, and then put the potatoes in and keep stirring them and getting them light brown. But anyways, right now, as you can see here, we're all downhill. So we're basically coasting right now. Some of the fellas, quite a few of the fellas have been saying the throttle positioning sensor is probably my problem, but they haven't changed that. But that would be the next thing if it ever does it again. But right now she's fine. I'm not saying it'll stay this way, but right now she's fine. And so that's what we're doing. We're just testing it out. The real test would be when I get to be going up hills and going on entrance ramps to the highway. So as time goes on, we'll be checking it out. Just give you a little ride in the back roads here on our way to one of my favorite, not too many favorite restaurants these days left. On Saturday mornings, like I say, I go and get my eggs and home fries, regular full breakfast. And the rest of the week, when I do go out to get breakfast, it's Old McDonald's Farm with the egg and cheese on a biscuit. I don't eat too much of the sausage because it's greasy and it's not good for you. They do have pretty good link sausage, but I'm not going to have sausage. As I said, I limit my sausage to maybe once a week, if even that.
Look at this. Ketchup, home fries. Yes, sir. That's the way to go.
Hello everybody, how you doing today? Well, we're going to take a trip to check the truck out. We got to go to Target again to pick up some more prescriptions. But on this video you've just seen so far was Tommy was recording me driving along to a restaurant up my way that we go to, or I go to most of the time on Saturdays. Well, Tommy's not with me right now, and I got to go to Target to pick up some prescriptions, so we're going to test the truck on hills here, because we didn't have very many hills going the back way, but the truck definitely has a lot more power. Now, we're going to do this by hand holding the camera, which is not what I should do and recommend anybody to do. Primarily aimed at the dashboard and a little bit on the road in various areas when I'm going up hills. We're going to just check it out. Nothing fancy, not anything special, but we just want to check it out. And then we'll see, make sure that everything's okay. So if you'd like to come along, grab yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever, and sit down and enjoy the short ride. Thank you. Okay. She's idling a lot smoother. All right. This is going to be difficult for shifting and so forth. I have no way of holding the camera unless I built a chest mount so that I can have the camera on my chest. I'm still driving along on the road to the highway entrance. Now, when I usually go up the entrance ramp, I'm usually in third gear. I don't put it into fourth until I hit the highway, and then when I get up to about 50 or so, 55, then I hit it into fifth gear. Now, before it used to buck and hesitate and everything else, and sometimes I had to drop it down to second gear, but even then it would run like crap. So right now I can feel it, even though I'm not going up a hill, I can feel the power. You know, it's good, it's responsive. And they did not change the throttle positioning sensor. I talked to the mechanic this morning. But I do have the information from Cool Blue Lights, Dan. If I need to order it, it's $22. But as long as the truck is running good, I won't need to order that. So I'll join you when we're ready to come up on the ramp for the highway. Hey, I'm in third gear right now, and this is the gear I always go in. And I stay in third gear until I get up on the highway. Now we're gonna hit it now. Fourth gear, fifth gear. Perfect, beautiful, no hesitation. She's back to her good old self again. You know, I don't know, between the timing, I guess the timing was off. Never had the timing done on this, and the distributor cap and rotor seemed to be what was causing the problem, but I could have swear from what the guys have been telling me, and I honestly thought it myself, that it was a lean condition here, but no hesitation at all, nothing. Now I'm doing only 55 right now. It's a rainy day and I don't push it too much. And they got the road narrowing down here, so I don't want to go pushing my luck on that too much. got something going on the highway here. I don't normally like to drive with a camera in my hand. I know some of my people I'm subscribed to do that, but with my luck, I'm liable to get stopped. And it's dangerous because you can't, you know, it's considered distracted driving. So even though I'm not looking through the viewfinder, I'm estimating where the camera is. Now I'm going to drop it to the floor in 5th gear because normally there would be a hesitation. No, she's just picking right up. I eased off. The fastest I ever had this truck was 75 miles an hour, and I would never attempt to do it any faster than that. So it's back to its good old self again. So I'm very happy with it. My mechanic told me just come in Monday and we'll settle up then. He wasn't too worried about it. And I'll tell you, they're great guys over there. They family-owned business, and it takes them a while to get at it because they're so backlogged, and he works a second job. So, you know, the garage business is kind of like a second thing, you know. So we got to pay attention to our driving. So want to thank you for coming along with me. All right, before we end this video, I stopped at Harbor Freight after I left Target, and I got some self-etching primer. I have to get a real powerful magnifying to read that there, but it's made to go over bare metal, and that'll probably be cheaper than using the epoxy stuff that people have been telling me about. But naturally this won't go over the rust, but if I sand and I'm in an area where it's bare metal, I can put this on, and this should be, I would think, just as good as the epoxy. I don't know. Also, I bought this, and I really don't know how good it is. See if I can get into a little better light here. It's supposed to do up to 18 gauge, and I'm figuring instead of making a lot of racket, if I have to cut that hole out, a nibbler is the way to go. I'll tell you the truth, I've never used one. I don't have much faith in Harbor Freight or Pittsburgh Tools or anything like that. But it was, I think, $6. These two items here, with the 25% off, cost me, I think, around $11 and something. So I can't complain about that. So we will add this to the inventory when I get ready to do the body work. What we're going to do now is I'm going to try this out on, I think I'm going to try it out on a piece of this heavy galvanized. I have no idea what gauge this is, but if I just take and hit the corners and see how easy it's going to cut or how hard it's going to cut. I'm going to try that now. I don't think you can see that, but it says the maximum thickness right here is 18 gauge. And the hardness, some kind of number is there, but I can't read it. And right on the edge over here, right on the end, I should say, there's a little gauge with two little lines that tells you how thick of a metal you can put in this. I'm going to take that piece of metal I showed you and stick it on here. Now, I know this ain't in focus. I'm using the Kodak, so that's no good at anything closer than 10 inches. But that's what it says here, 18 gauge, of course, and it gives you a little line over here, right at the end of my thumb, but you can't see it in the video. Two little lines, and that represents the thickness of the metal that you can cut, the thickness that is allowed, the maximum. I'm going to try to do that off camera now and see if this piece of metal is too thick or not. I won't try it if it's too thick. I'm not sure what gauge the van body is, but I'm sure it's a lot heavier than the crap they make nowadays. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm having a hell of a job with this, and it's not doing all that good. So, I'm no better off with this than tin snips. I think tin snips would be better. I never had much luck with nibblers anyways. I've seen them years ago, but I've never considered them worth their weight in salt even. Off camera I cut it, but it's got an edge here, a sharp edge that sticks up. It's like it rolls over. I wanted to cut just the very, very tip, and it wouldn't do that. It just rounded it off. It just like folded it over like. Now that it's not raining, you might be able, I can show you outside here. It bent it over. It cut it, but I had to go in further into the metal. But trying to do the corner, it just bent the corner up, which is not what you want when you want to cut. It's supposed to cut a nice clean, make a clean cut, but I don't believe that. So if I had some real thin aluminum like this here, it would probably work pretty well. And I just did it, and it did a nice job. But this is real thin aluminum, real thin. And metal gets stuck in there and doesn't want to come out. It's hard working one hand. I don't have my tripod with me. Well, this is why it was so hard getting out. It curls itself up inside the cutter. See that little coil in the end there? Well, that's why it was hard to get out. And that's the piece I cut out of this thin aluminum here. So this isn't going to do my body. I don't know what the thickness of the car body is, but I'm pretty sure that this is 18. I'm pretty sure that the car body is at least 18. Of course, I might be using this wrong. There's no instructions as to how to use it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to have this little blade facing down like this, which is the way I was not doing it. I was doing it with the blade facing up so I can see the blade. And I was cutting the metal this way with this blade right here that you see sticking up, facing me. Maybe I'm supposed to cut this way. I don't know. But anyways, this is actually the end of this video, and I bet you're glad. You know, we're trying our best with the money that we got to work with to try to get this job done as good as I can get it. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.